Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maggie. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. So today I want to do a video focusing on things for clients in a hair salon. I've been a professional hairdresser for over 6 years now. I did 2 years of cosmetology schooling. I did 2 internships. I've worked at 2 different salons. So this video is focusing on things to just make your experience better at the hair salon. So this video is in no way to call out anybody. This is just to help people who maybe just aren't really familiar with how a salon works, or trying out a new person, or who just sometimes feel like, I don't know, why do I hate going to salons? I just feel like my experience always sucks. So these are just some things that I don't want to say annoy us hairdressers, but can sometimes just make our job a little more difficult if you don't do certain things like this. And so sometimes I know we can kind of try not to, but we can sometimes give off a vibe like we're annoyed, we're rushing. And that's obviously super annoying for the client sitting there like, I just feel like my hairdresser is mad at me, or I feel like she's rushing me. Well, sometimes there's reasoning behind that. So these are some tips just to help you maybe make your experience a little bit better. You may find all of them helpful. You may find none of them helpful. You may be like, I still do all these and I still feel like my hairdresser hates me. Maybe she or he just does. So maybe you need to find a new hairdresser. But I hope you'll find at least 1 or 2 of these helpful. And if you enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this. And let's get into the video here. Okay, so the first tip I have for clients is when you call in to make your appointment, let the person on the phone, be it the receptionist or you may be speaking directly to your hairdresser, let them know exactly what you want. So if you're wanting a haircut, let them know if you want it shampooed and styled after. If you're wanting any add-on services like getting any brow or any kind of facial waxing done, just any other additional service. I have so many people who come in and they schedule just for a haircut, and then we get there and they're like, well, can I get it washed too? Yeah, okay, that doesn't take very long. Oh, styled too, I want it flat ironed or curled. Yeah, okay. Can I get my eyebrows done? And you're like, oh, I only had 30 minutes for this client. And I try to ask them on the phone if they, did you need anything else done, or are you just getting a trim? And if they say just a trim, okay, I'm scheduling them for just a trim. I know every hair salon is different. So some hair salons, they wash, cut, and style your hair no matter what. Even if you didn't ask to have it washed and styled, they're washing and styling it for you. So, if that's how your salon does it, then you don't need to really request those kinds of things. They just automatically do it. But any additional things like getting any waxing done, things like that, please let us know on the phone, because it can be kind of stressful. I'll be sometimes washing someone's hair and like, oh, do you have time to do my brows? And I'm like, yeah, okay. And sometimes I do tell them no if I honest to goodness don't have time. But I'm one of those people, I feel really bad telling them no. I'm like, it's cutting it close, but yeah, I can do it real quick. And then I'm late for my next person. So part of that is on me. I just need to be honest with people if I don't have time. But it is kind of awkward to put us in that situation if, because we're also looking at like, oh, that's more money for me. How do I tell them no? And so it's just a considerate thing. If you didn't say on the phone, hey, do you have time for this? Or, I would like this done. Maybe just don't ask for it. Or another thing is call in advance. Like say you booked your appointment several days or several weeks ago, and maybe that day you're like, oh gosh, you know what? I need my brows waxed, because I completely understand that happens. Call in and say that morning before your appointment and say, hey, I'm scheduled today at 1 o'clock to get my hair done. Would she have time to wax my brows too? And then we're a little more, you're not in person asking at this. So it's a little easier to say yes or no. So it's more or less just a considerate thing to let them know exactly what you want over the phone. Second tip I have is have an idea of what you want if you're changing things up. I know sometimes I have clients sit down in the chair, they're like, I just want something different. I don't know what I want, but I want something different. That's fine and all, but it's really helpful if you at least have an idea. And let me share a story here. I was still pretty new to doing hair, and I had this woman, she was a walk-in, and she sat down and said, I am ready for a change. I just want something different. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Like, I had the time because I was very new to doing hair, so I did not have a full book yet. And so I was like, okay, great. What are you thinking? And she's like, I don't know. Just I'm just so ready for a change. I just want something completely different. Okay, cool. I love a makeover day. And so I said, okay, so are you thinking like new haircut? Like you want to go shorter? She's like, well, just do whatever you want. Another big tip right there. Never tell a hairdresser who you've never met before, do whatever you want. Because I might think you look cute with a hot pink mohawk. Never tell a hairdresser, do whatever you want. Unless you've been going to this person for years and they know your limits and what you like and what your hair can do and what your hair can't do. So yeah, so I'd never met this woman before. I'm obviously very young and she knows this, you know, and I was like, okay, well, you know what's a really cute style? And I explained this haircut to her, and this is around the time whenever the stacked bob was very much in style, so I suggested that. She's, oh, no, I hate that cut. Okay, well, good thing I didn't just do it. And I was like, okay, well, do you want to go shorter with your hair? We could like add in more layers, you know? And I'm like giving her all these suggestions, and she's like, no, don't like that. Okay, well, I mean, what if we just do a color? Like, I have time for a color. Do you want just a new color? No, I don't want to color my hair. Okay, and so at this point, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just new to doing hair, and maybe I just don't know how to word things correctly. So I said, you know what, let me grab my boss, and maybe she can give us some better ideas. You know, she has a lot more experience than me, so I went and grabbed my boss, and I tell her she wants something new, but she has no clue what she wants. And she comes over and goes, okay, well, what if we do this? And she's, you know, giving her all these suggestions. No. By this point, I'd literally been sitting here with start that sentence over. I'd been sitting there with her for half an hour with my boss trying to figure out what this lady wants. She keeps saying, I want something different. I'm ready for a change. Go big, go home, all this kind of stuff. She does not want any kind of new haircut. She does not want her hair colored in any way, shape, or form. Like, nothing. In the end, I took half an inch off her hair all over, and she loved it. She was so happy with it. And so, I mean, I don't know if that's what she wanted all along, was just half an inch trim, or if she was just so frustrated we couldn't figure out what she wanted that she just said, you know, just cut half an inch off. But regardless, we wasted so much of our time and this woman's time because she had no idea what she wanted. So that can be very frustrating. So at least have an idea of, if you're wanting to change it up, okay, I want a new color, or I want a new cut. Maybe you want both, and that's fine. You know, just let them know. And let them know that over the phone too, because I've also had people sit down in my chair who I'm used, you know, for the past 2 years, we've been doing a simple highlight on them. So when they call and book an appointment and I say, are we just doing our regular highlights? Yep. Okay, great. So I schedule them for a regular highlight, or sometimes people are like, just a root touch up. Okay, schedule them for a root touch up color. And then they get there and they're like, so I think I want something different. And I'm like, I didn't schedule for something different, you know? A lot of times we book people while they're processing, or we have someone right after, and then that's cutting into our time because we only scheduled for a certain thing. So, you know, let them know over the phone, hey, you know, I want to do something different, so I just want to make sure she has enough time. And the receptionist or your hairdresser, whoever books the appointment for you, they can make sure that your hairdresser is given adequate time for that. Third tip, if your hairdresser says something is not possible for your hair, please trust them. You know, it's okay if you maybe want to get a second opinion. Like if you've never been to this hairdresser before and you're like, I want this done, and they're like, no, that's not going to work on you. They may be being honest with you. They could also be being lazy and just don't want to do that on you, or they don't know how to do that on you. Yeah, so don't push it, because if they're telling you no kind of for any reason, I would not try to make them do it, because there's reasons we say no. You know, sometimes it's a no, I don't have time for that today, or no, that's really not going to work on your hair, or no, I don't know how to do that. I've told people before, I don't really know how to do this. I try to be honest with people because I would be livid if I sat down to get my hair done, asked for something, they did it, they screwed it up, and I'm like, why does it look like crap? Like, well, I've never done this before. Oh gosh, well, no wonder it looks crappy. So if we say no, or if the person's just being lazy and doesn't want to do that, you really don't want them doing it anyways, because it's not going to look good if they were not feeling it. So if they say no, but generally whenever we have our regular clients and we say, no, that's not going to work on your hair, we're being honest, and I don't care what YouTube or Google told you. It's just, we know your hair. If we've been doing your hair for years, we know exactly what's on your hair. We know what kind of shampoo you use. We sometimes know what kind of medication you're on, any surgeries you've had that can make things just change up in your body. We don't say no to be mean. We're saying no because we care about you. So yeah, if they say no, it's not possible, listen to them. Don't try to push it. Don't try to force it. Don't try to go to someone else, because I've had that happen too to my clients. They're like, well, I really wanted this done. And they went somewhere else, and it was tragic because they did not listen to me. Number 4, don't plan anything directly after getting your hair done. I'm not saying, oh, you had an appointment to get your hair cut at 1, don't plan anything for 5 o'clock. Like, no, that's not the case. But don't plan for anything at like 1:30. And the reason I say that is, let's say you have an appointment just to get your hair cut at 1 o'clock. Usually it takes half an hour to get your hair done. So don't be like, oh, well, I need to be somewhere at 1:30. Or like 1:45, give yourself time to get there, Or a meeting somebody. Because even if you're there right on time, your hairdresser may not be ready for you. And it usually is not your hairdresser's fault. Usually it's someone else came late, or something took longer than expected because maybe this color didn't turn out, maybe the person didn't like their cut, or maybe they just had a lot of hair, and so what would normally take half an hour is taking 45 minutes. Then you are behind the rest of your day, and those minutes start adding up. So, of course, making sure you're on time is a huge thing. But if you just make sure you don't have anything planned directly after, or if you're getting a hair color, sometimes it just takes longer. Sometimes hair color just doesn't turn out the way we expected. So just giving yourself enough time for the day of your appointment that you can relax, you're not feeling rushed to get anywhere, and you'll just feel a lot better. Okay, so the 5th and final tip I have for clients is book in advance if you can. I have clients who literally come to me once a year. That's fine. You don't need to book a year out. But if you like to get your hair done every month, every other month, every 3 months, having that already in it's a big help for us, because what sometimes happens is, especially around holidays and the beginning of summer and right before back to school, those are the times we are getting slammed. And we have a lot more people coming at those times who are not regulars. They're just looking to get their hair done because of a holiday, because of going on vacation, going back to school. So we don't always have time for our regulars then, which is not how we want it to be. We want it to be, we schedule our regulars first, and then anyone else who's not a regular who's wanting their hair done, we can squeeze them into other places. So scheduling in advance is a huge help to us, because then we feel super bad when someone calls in who's been coming to us for like 5 years, like, yeah, I need my hair colored this weekend. And you have to tell them I don't have time for you. Because what if they're going on vacation next week? And I can't get them in. And then they have to go to someone else, or just wait. And then they're like, my hair looked awful. Like, my roots were so grown out, or my hair was too long. It just didn't look good. So all my vacation pictures are ruined. So just booking in advance really helps avoid that kind of stuff. We can make sure we get you in when you want, as long as we have that slot available. And I know sometimes a lot of people don't want to book in advance because they're like, well, I don't know what my schedule will be. Well, if that's the case, try to book it still, usually when you have time off or a day that works good for you, And when you get that schedule, if you realize, oh no, they scheduled me to work on that Thursday or at that time, you can always call the salon back and say, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do that day. Let's find a different day. And if you have to call and cancel the day before or the day of, like, we completely understand. Is it a bummer? Yes, but we understand life happens. But at least you had it prepared versus, we'd much rather you have to cancel because something came up than you really wanted in and we couldn't get you in because someone else took your regular spot. So to recap everything, letting them know in person what you want, have an idea of what you want if you're wanting to change things up. Listen to your hairdresser when they tell you something's not possible with your hair. Schedule plenty of time for getting your hair done and booking in advance. So there's my 5 tips to start out with. I have so many other tips for many different things with getting your hair done, but I just want this to be a quick little video. I know I'm like taking longer than I expected because I rattle, but I hope these were helpful. If you want to see more content like this with hairdressing tips or getting your hair done tips, please let me know in the comment section down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye!